1957, he first stepped into national prominence in professional football as an all-pro defensive tackle for the New York Giants. Eventually traded to the Los Angeles Rams, he became a member of the original Fearsome Foursome, one of the best defensive lines in football history. He was also one of the first football stars to successfully transition into acting, making numerous TV appearances and multiple films. Next, Matt and Lori Crouch welcome Reverend Rosey Grier.
The world system is trying to make everyone say God's far away, distant, not happening here, obviously, and that he may not even be very happy with us, is really just trying to position the minds of people to not trust God. You were talking about trusting God. The answer is going to be coming from God anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that one of the main things that the devil fool us on is try to make us think that God doesn't hear us.
Yeah.
And he don't care about us.
Yeah.
And but if you know the Word of God, you know he's always present.
Yes.
Right. He's always present. He knows our most smallest concern.
Yes.
And sometimes he answers those small concerns and he just blows me away because God is so good. I mean, I know he is so good.
Yeah. When we're talking about God and his love and how good he is, but when you played football, did you really enjoy crunching people?
Well, it was a game. I played the game hard. I played to win. I never played to hurt anyone. In fact, if I had anyone on my team that I thought was being too aggressive, I'd call them down. I said, no, we don't need to win by putting one of their best players out of the game. So I was always looked at it like this is an opportunity to play a game that I love, and that the game is not going to be pure unless I help to keep it that way.
Yeah.
So if I had a guy who was breaking the rules, I'd speak up. And I said, no, you're not going to do that.
Okay, but if it was a clean hit, then you enjoyed that?
I've had a lot of clean hits that people got really devastated.
Yeah, and it was fun?
Yeah. Well, it was fun, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Because it's a clean shot, and I got him legitimately, and I tore him up.
Come on now.
Do you think it's still played like that?
Yes, I think, but the guys now, they get to train year-round. See, when I was playing, we didn't make enough money to just train year-round,
right.
So I had to train certain times a year. But with these guys today, they're making the kind of money that they could train year-round, and so their body is so hard.
Yeah.
Because they've trained so much that their body is so strong, and they got themselves tuned so good that today's game is so precise that when a guy hits you out there, he hurts.
Yeah.
They really hurts.
Were steroids even existing when you were playing football?
Yep.
Did they even exist?
I don't know. They call them something else. They call them bennies. I discovered that guys did use these bennies, which is supposed to give you energy somewhere in the game.
Yeah.
I tried it one time, and I thought I was going to get energy in the third or fourth quarter. Never showed up till 12 o'clock that night. And I thought, man, this ain't for me. If it doesn't come natural, forget it. But it's an amazing thing that I saw a lot of guys on the field, and their eyes would be like big as a ball.
Yeah.
And you look at these guys, they're scary because you know they're on something out there. And if I got a chance to talk to one of these guys, I discourage it because that's not, to me, is the right way to play the game. But however, during the season, when guys find out that other guys are using any kind of medicine or things to help them get stronger, well, they figure out this guy I'm playing against, if I don't keep up with him, he'll make me look bad. So other guys started using it, they said, to protect themselves.
Gotcha.
Not good for the game.
Yeah. So as long as it was clean, as long as it was a good sportsmanship.
Absolutely.
You like.
Tear them up.
Tear them up. Come on now. I love it. Okay. What is, now that you're no longer tearing people up, but now you got the Bible in your hand, you're doing all that, what's God saying? I'm giving you the last 5 minutes to just kind of share what's on your heart.
Well, what I really been looking at, and I've been studying the Bible, because, see, I want to have a relationship with God that he can trust me. And the way he trusts me is I got to know who he is. The only way we can really know God is by studying the Word ourselves.
Yeah.
And it's great. Preachers are great. There are great people come out with prophecies and all that, and that's good. But I need to hear from God myself.
Yes.
So I need to spend the time in the Bible, studying it, hearing from God myself. I remember once I was studying the Bible. I started in Genesis, and I finished Genesis, and I go to the Deuteronomy. I go to all the other books, and so I finished a number of books, and I said, Lord, I don't know where to go now where I'm going to be excited. and I didn't like Exodus, not Exodus, but Ecclesiastes.
Ecclesiastes.
And I said, oh, I'm not going to go there. And then I thought, well, I just go take a peep at it. So I peeped, and it was like God said, I'm in the whole Bible. Wherever you go in the Bible, it's exciting because that's what you're looking for.
Wow.
Me.
Yeah.
And I studied it, and it was so good.
Wow.
All the Bible books are exciting if you go into the Bible and just let God teach you. Like sometimes you come to places in the Bible, and I just said, Lord, you know, I'm not getting this. I don't get this at all. And I read it again, and I go on. And sometime when I come back to that, it's so clear.
Yeah.
God will reveal himself to you when you seek him. That's why I said, seek and you'll find, knock, they'll be open. Ask and it shall be given. So when I spend time, or when we all spend time, what we all should be doing, studying the word ourselves and not waiting for someone else to give us the good word.
Yeah.
What's the good word? Well, the good word is in the Bible.
Yeah.
And if you seek it, God will reveal it to you. And what we are in a, as I said, a strategic place in our society, in our world today, to speak the word of God. Remember, the word of God is, when we speak that word, it feeds someone who's hungry.
Yeah.
It meets a person at the point of his need. Sometimes you have no idea, or like I remember when I was hungry in my heart, and I didn't know what I needed. I tried all these things, but one day I heard the name Jesus.
Come on now.
And my heart stopped. So wait, I had hope.
Wow.
And as I learned about Jesus, what he came to do, him dying on the cross, to give us the right to be in the family of God, it changed my life.
Wow.
It changed my life so much that I remarried my ex-wife. Now, you know that was God, right?
Yeah, wow.
and so I'm saying that I was searching for something, that it wasn't in a person, a lady, my wife. It was in the Word of God. It was in the Bible. So when I studied the Word of God, I learned what love really is. I don't regard what you are. I love you because God said we are to love one another. Everybody say, love one another.
Love one another.
Everybody say, love one another.
Love one another.
If we love one another, we're doing what God said we ought to do.
Yeah.
And the only way the world will change if God's love is flowing and as more of us join in the flow of this love, it keeps growing and growing, and hatred and all those things cannot stand against the love of God that's flowing through us, because we open ourselves up so that God can use us in our strategic place, our friends and our neighbors and our loved ones.